The next game I have to review, according to the poll, is Crazy Taxi, which is an arcade classic and an open-world racing game developed by Hitmaker and published by Sega in 1999. I bet you're thinking, where have I been for a while, since it's been about, I don't know, a couple weeks, maybe a month? Well, that's because, I recently just moved out, and this is my new setup. So you're going to see reviews like this from now on. And, I also been through a war. Can we get the Vietnam flashback again? Like, 3, 2, 1. Jim, the Vietnam, they're after us. I know, Jim. Jim, what are we gonna do? Well, you just gotta... Oh, shit! I'm the winner, motherfucker! I didn't remember it like that. I thought it was more like violent and rapey. Anyway, let's get into this arcade classic to see if it still holds up. This is like every other driving game. You use RT to function, and I say function just because you don't exactly accelerate with it. Like, yes, you do accelerate with it, but if you press the A button, you can reverse. Now, it sounds a bit, kind of funky, but, it can work. You'll get used to it. This game sounds pretty crazy. That's why I brought protection. You explore wannabe San Francisco as 4 characters, which are Axel, BD Joe, Gina, and Gus. If you have dementia and you can't remember the names well, just remember them as white guy, black guy, woman guy, and old guy. Each character has their own unique car, and my favorite character to play as is BD Joe, just cause he's so goddamn cool.
Yeah, we can have some fun.
Another thing this game is really good at is making you really hype. Like, it just feels so fucking good just to crash into people and killing people and... Oh shit, is that CJ from San Andreas? Anyway, yeah, this game feels great when it hypes you up, like just crashing into things with the rock music blaring. Like, it's pretty cool. To know if someone needs a ride, you'll see a little icon above them with a little money sign. Each icon represents a time limit. For example, the red ones are typically shorter time limits, while the green ones are way longer. I recommend the red ones just because, yeah, you don't have much time, but the locations are really closer to you, so you know. Oh man, all the fun wore out. I guess we have to get to the negatives now. An issue I didn't have a problem with, but I can see others having, is that the fact this is a pick up and play game, which means it's the type of game you play for about 20 minutes, and then you stop playing it, and you wait a while until you play it again. Just keep in mind that this is an arcade game that wasn't meant to be played over an hour, so that's why it's more of a pick up and play situation. The next problem only applies to the HD version, which is that the soundtrack is kind of iffy. Now, the original Crazy Taxi soundtrack only had 7 songs, but those songs were pretty iconic. Now, the new Crazy Taxi soundtrack has 16 songs, which sounds pretty good until you realize they did not include any of the original Crazy Taxi songs. That means in the HD versions, you don't get any of... Yeah. At this point, I just question Sega, like, why get the license to a bunch of fucking songs instead of just relicensing the original 7 songs? Like, I just find it weird. The final problem I have with this game is that there's not exactly an end goal. Like, you can't really beat the game, but I mean, you could go to get all the achievements, but, I don't think most people would be 100%ing this. Those are all my gripes with the game. Anyway, to the conclusion.
We're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher.
Would I recommend this game? Yeah, it's an actual pretty fun game. It's a pick up and play game, so don't expect to play for hours and hours, just having fun. No, it's more of just like, you take in with like little bites. It's like think of it like a spicy dish. Like, you want to take small bites of it to appreciate it instead of just going for one whole fucking bowl. Like, that wouldn't be fun. The systems you can get this on, current day systems, you can get this on Series X and Xbox One due to the 360 version being backwards compatible. So you can go get that. It's on PC, Steam, so buy it on there. It's on iOS, and I'm pretty sure that version uses the original soundtrack. There's also the PS3 version, but that was, that sadly no longer exists just because of the PS3 store not even existing. There's also the PS2 version, the GameCube version, and the Dreamcast version, which the Dreamcast version is probably more rare, so I wouldn't recommend getting that version. I would probably recommend getting the GameCube version just because it has the original soundtrack, and it is the most powerful console of that generation that game was released on. So yeah, this is Crazy Taxi. It's not a realistic taxi simulator, so don't, if you want that, go play GTA. So, since I'm a war veteran, I should do something to cope with my PTSD, because I seen whatever the fuck that was earlier. So, I don't have much to think of, but, since I am an American, and, I just came back from a war, I'm gonna go shoot up a school, since, that's pretty normal for us Americans due to our obsession with guns. So, like, killing children is, like, perfectly fine. So, I'm gonna go do that. Bye.
Before this video ends, I just want to advertise a game my friends made called Lumbo Redux, which is an M-rated top-down shooter where you play as this little circle fella, and you can kill people. It's pretty good. It has 2 positive reviews on Steam and 1 positive review on Metacritic. Not many people have played it, but I wish they would. It's about $5 on Steam. It's not that much, so you can definitely buy this game.